Welcome everyone to our amazing series about 5 steps to get a professional job in Ireland, not only from professionals outside EU, but also professionals that live here. I have an incredible privilege to have an amazing professional for those 5 steps, which is CK, an experienced career coach from Dublin Business School. CK, if you'd be so kind to add exactly how you add value to young professionals and not only.
Okay. Thanks very much for that lovely introduction, Chris. My role essentially in Dublin Business School is to empower and encourage students of all nationalities and all academic backgrounds into achieving career success. And it's essentially really showing them and educating them on what a career is here, how you can basically start job searching and everything like that is involved. And essentially, more than anything else, is how to present yourself so that the potential employer has the perception of what it is that you can do.
Oh, fantastic. And that's one of our common grounds in relation to professional activity.
Absolutely.
So I decided that I would like to have a professional who can add also value to our agenda. Okay. And today we're going to focus about things that lots of professionals, especially young professionals, are missing in their approach to finding a professional job. And this is what things has to be done before even considering thinking about getting a job, changing your career, that very often are missed. And what I would like to start first with is highlights actually, because we won't be able to talk about all the points in a depth that we would like to, but highlights of the key things that people can research, find out more, or even ask us questions, connect with us on LinkedIn. Yeah. Now, the first things I would like to say is people forget that the career is actually a strategy. It's a long-term strategy, and you need to see that as a strategy. We're very reactive in our careers. We need the job because we're getting fired, or we need the job because there'll be redundancies, or we need the job because we know someone, or we don't direct our careers. We're just floating like a raft in the ocean, and not always we reach the destination we would like to. Exactly. So career strategy is a process that is designed for you to get to exact position, to an exact remuneration that you would like at an exact time. Because, for example, if you would like to have a family and a house in 5 years' time, and let's say you don't plan your career, so you don't know which position in which position would bring you this money because you don't plan ahead. So what I mean by this, let's say you're stuck in a middle management position. But if you don't fight for your promotion, if you don't design a strategy to get it, you won't be able to take a mortgage for this house and start your family on time as you planned. So you can see how career and personal life are interrelated.
Yep, I absolutely agree. And the most important thing as well is that people need to kind of stop aiming for a job title. So what is the end goal? So I always say work your way backwards. Think about the life that you want to have, and that's how you work your way backward. That's how you'll know what type of titles are the ones you need to slot into, which would work towards getting you towards your goal, as well as academic qualifications. Because Chris, let's face it, technology, all of these new things are happening, and it's hard for us to be able to sorry, did I get cut off there for a bit?
No.
Oh, sorry. So what I was saying is, what we know is, like, look at technology. It's consistently, upgrading, and look at with COVID and everything like that. We have to learn new ways, new processes. There's new systems and implementations being put in every single day. So you need to be open to learning as well. We need to stop looking at career end goal as, that it's just going to be through promotions. It's just going to be involved in that. It's also looking at how is this technology going to either, make certain tasks obsolete, or how is this going to actually improve what we're currently doing, and how is that going to impact then my career?
Absolutely. And that actually leads me to the next point that I would like to touch. As you said, we need a higher purpose.
Yes.
So, and it's not about, as you mentioned, seeing as an end goal, because if you want to stuck in certain field, like you provide service, or let's say you work for certain company, certain specific type of job, after a while you use motivation. People wonder why I'm losing motivation. And it's the boss, it's a boring task. No, it's you need to look what actually drives you as a person. In
Yes.
my coaching practice, we have a specific process to elicit all those motivational drivers so you sustain in the business. And there are processes or even a specific type of coaching that is focusing solely on this aspect, finding your why, like Simon Sinek. He's an expert in that field because there's so many people trying to find out what is my driver to stay so long in this profession or in this specific field. And having that explored is very important, because we as a professionals and person, we want to contribute to humanity. So let's say we want to contribute in a certain way, and that can be through being a doctor, that can be through a lawyer, that could be providing marketing services. But we have to not do the opposite round, find a role, although it can work sometimes, but first we need to find the underlying reasons. And that will lead me to what you mentioned before. You have that set up, then probably you think about something specific.
Yeah. It's very important as well that you identify your values. What is important to you? And I don't just mean in the sense of, it's a job, the money, how much I'm getting. I mean, no, but, how is this role going to impact you? How are you contributing to society? Does it mean if you're a doctor? So for instance, if we're talking about helping people, some people are not meant for the medical field, but they can go other avenues where they can still help, whether it's going for a nonprofit, whether it's going for fundraising, whatever it might be, but it's always associated and aligned with your values. You will not be able to be motivated by external things such as money, promotions, if your internal values are not, if your internal values aren't aligned to what the company is doing. You know what I mean? The personal values and the company's values, there has to be something there, guys. Has to be a connection of some sort, or else jobs get challenging. You have people who are challenging, you have tasks that are challenging. So how are you going to persevere if you're not thinking about the end of the day? Oh, do you know what? If I pull through, like I always think of it this way, me pulling through means that I'm helping another student be able to start their career the correct way in DBS, start their career in Ireland before they even think about exploring and going further. That's essentially what it's all about. But you have to strip it back. What is important to you? Is it a company that is all about sustainability? Is it a company that's all about helping the community? Is it a company that's really always about, looking for future, the technology of the future? That's where you're focused on, because you believe that, the tech is the future, that's where we're going to be. What is important to you? Write it down and make sure that whatever job or company that you're in, it's there. It's the premise. It's at the core of every single thing that you do.
Absolutely. And we need to remember to talk about this more often, whether we talk with on interview, or whether we talk with clients, to emphasize why you're doing this. You want them to trust you. You want to show that you care. And when they see this intrinsic value, that I do that because that makes me happy, that brings me energy. And I feel happy if I see you happy. And then, wow, that's the motivator. I want to work with that person. I want to have that person in my team. So they look at those intrinsic motivators. We need to express that. I know it sounds funny when you talk about interview, or even if when you talk with your clients, sharing this value. But if you innocently in the conversation mention that, the dynamics change, because they see you open up, and the different type of energy, they much open for you and hear what you want to say, what you want to offer, and what you can offer as a professional. And that is very important to remember.
I just want to add, sorry, Chris, one more thing there. One of the ways that employers make decisions about whether or not someone is right for the company is because if they can see that that you're going to work towards the mission, that you see the bigger picture and the vision, they can teach you everything else that's aligned. They can teach you how to use a system. They can teach you how to step into a leadership role. They can help you with those bits and pieces. But the most important thing for you is the company doing what is going to help you make an impact or leave your footprint in this world? And that's essentially what you need to ask yourself.
Yes, and as you mentioned, when you have that sorted, we can go dive into a specific role, or some people know straight away, or some people have to find out through their experiences. But when you have that sorted, let's say you define your position. Okay, I want to give a go with this position, or I want to provide this type of services. Now, the thing that we forget, we need to have a holistic approach to this. Yes. So they want to see you, not only that your energy or everything goes from it, they want to see your LinkedIn profile in line with it. They want to see all your media presence. They want to see your network. Your whole network needs to know what you're about. They want to say, okay, I've seen this guy, or he's absolutely great about this. And when you create one client or one person that will vouch for you in the company, you make sure you use that connection, or you spread out, you get that recommendation. Absolutely. You talk to them, you expand this, so you are the, I would say, personification of what you want to contribute in this life.
That's beautiful. Actually, that was just, I like that. I'm gonna write that on my wall.
Each other here.
I'm gonna write that on my wall, but it's so important as well. Just with I'm basically just going to, I don't even have anything to add on to that. I'm just gonna sign my name right on to say I'm co-sign on everything that you just said.
CK, that is fantastic. We're actually heading to the close.
I know.
And I wonder if there's something you want to add to, so people remember what else, other aspects they can think of before even considering start looking for a job, or going out to the market looking for their clients.
So I have a psychology background. So learning about the mind, how it works, your behaviors is really, really important. And it's essentially going to influence, how you see things and how you navigate. So the one thing that I would really say is before you start thinking about career or anything like that, do a personality assessment. And the reason why I say that is because you need to understand yourself. What makes you tick? What motivates you, what's going to push you forward. One of the things I discovered about myself after doing personality assessments, now this is when I already started my career, but it's fine. But one of the things that I realized about myself was the type of work environment that I needed, the type of management style that I needed, the type of leader that I was. But it was only due to doing these personality assessments, because I always was wondering, why can I not fit? I was a circle constantly trying to fit into a square box, that kind of way. And it's it doesn't work. There's no way that you can manipulate it, but I didn't understand why. So this is how I learned things, such as knowing about the environment that I need, knowing about the type of people I need around me. Like my job has to have meaning. I need my role to be somehow related to me, assisting the community, the people, making a personal touch. That's really important for me. I know the roles that I'm in also require me to be with people, social. So the last 2 years working from home and only seeing people through a screen was a little bit hard, but it's okay because we got through it and I'm back now in the office, so it's okay. But that's where it starts, guys. Understand yourself, and that will help you with finding what is the careers, the industries that you will fit and mold into. And that not only that, it means that when those challenges come up, because they will, because nothing in life is easy, nothing within the career journey is going to be smooth sailing. I wish it was. And I wish I could say to you that it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then you're going to be so happy retired with your lovely villa and your house in Spain with your 2 dogs. It's not like that. It's not like that. There are going to be challenges. And this is where you find, okay, how do I persevere? It's the most important thing, because the reason why is some of those challenges are going to cause you to be like, you know what? I quit. Don't want to do this anymore. Don't want to do this. Or those challenges would be like, okay, I need to think bigger. I need to think in a different way. How am I going to help? I need to think like the client. I need to think about the customer. That's what you need to focus on. When you understand all of that, the rest of it will come together quite easily. It'll be easier for you to build your portfolio, easier for you to build your LinkedIn, your CV, and your cover letter, easier for you to network and speak about these things to potential employers or people that are in a position to offer you opportunities. And I don't just mean job opportunities, I just mean opportunities in general, whether it's participating in a project or whether it's, I don't know, coming onto a webinar with, you know, someone that you've worked with for the last couple of months. It's an opportunity because you don't know where it's going to lead. However, at the core of what I'm doing right now with Chris, I'm assisting the people that are on this call at the moment, the people that will be watching this later on as well, the people that will eventually be reaching out to me on LinkedIn, you know, having careers queries, or the students that I will be meeting with later on as well. So I just think it's just really important that you know yourself fully, because you need to know what drives you. You need to know what you're also, and the other thing as well, please follow your passion. Okay. I understand that there are jobs out there that are guaranteed money, guaranteed stability, but you can only survive so long in roles like that. And I think, Chris, you'll definitely agree with me with that, is you can only survive so long if it's just about, you know, one thing that is not aligned with your values, that is not aligned with anything that's about you either. It's just because it's like when people used to go, all of them wanted to be a doctor. Because why? Healthcare, always going to need doctors. Never run out. We'll never run out of jobs. But that's something to consider, because think about the profession, what's actually involved, you know, that's really important. So, because I don't know if you have anything else that you'd like to add on to that. Because...
I absolutely agree with you. And I pick you up on this idea of having a villa in Spain.
Yes. Me and you, our retirement plan.
Hopefully to visit you there. And now, if we coming to the end, and I would, of course, emphasize the learning aspect that you mentioned, and that wherever this is something that coming from you, you decide, you constantly learning. As we mentioned about career, it's a strategy, long-term strategy. I always, with my coaches, when we speak, we once a week, you have an audiobook in the field that you really enjoy, or you watch LinkedIn Learning course on their LinkedIn Learning Hub, something that you contribute to development you as a professional, and something that you really enjoy. So at the moment, I'm listening Crucial Conversations. That is another aspect that can give me, I can add more to someone. You have to grow. If you, Tony Robbins says, if you don't grow, everything in nature dies. So you don't want to die as a professional. You want to keep that going. CK, thank you very much for amazing conversation. Guys, we have another event next week, and next week will be about step 2, building your presence. So we'll be talking more about this holistic presence, as we mentioned today. It's not only about your CV and LinkedIn, how you put those things and things around that before you start applying, they already know what you're about. If recruiter checks you out, then yes, you are aligned and your CV goes first, or you as a service provider are considered first. So I'm happy, CK, for having you here today, that we could discuss this. Guys, I'm looking forward to the next one.
Me too.